Hey, what's going on everyone? Supreme Kama here. So this is probably going to be a shorter video. I'm just going to quickly go over the big alternation for the pet rider. So I'm not going to have like those stats on the left hand side because I haven't done the calculation yet. But I don't think the stats should be too concerning to you all, because these parts, if you slap it onto like a 100 scale, you know, like these that are standard pool parts, so the stat is not going to be like too groundbreaking unless you slap it onto like another part to give it that up to 55%. So these parts over here, shot attack is it's not too bad, right? If you have that change gear into effect, you're looking at probably a little bit on the maybe on the upper 8,000 ish kind of. But word tag over here, you have okay I think a while ago I was talking about if they ever make if they ever make Federation like a pretty viable tag right now. This is probably going to be a good candidate right now if you guys want to run some of these Federation word tag over here. But this right here, I'm not suggesting you guys to summon it. Please don't summon it. This is not the banner you want to summon on. Please don't do it. At least wait until Friday to see what they're gonna drop, or Thursday, you know. And then, you know, there's also that 2 banner over here. What is it? Alternation for the Lupus over here, and then Vidar. Those 2 can be a good candidate. Probably talk about those 2 tomorrow. So right now we're gonna strictly talk about why you should not really summon on these 2 banner over here. So in terms of the head over here, there are pretty good parts that do have Federation tag over here. Namely, we have the Narrative Gundam C packs. That one does have Federation. That one actually have Gundam type and Federation, and does have a pretty good shot stat, looking at 10,085. So if you want to like subslot this guy onto Narrative Gundam C pack, go for it. But that do require you to summon on it. And do you have to wait? Okay, so you don't have to have it at 6-star, which saves you a lot of material. If you have to 6-star this guy to before alternation, I would just clearly rather that don't even summon it, because you're wasting a lot of resources. B, you are most likely gonna get shafted during the summon. So this one, this is only good if you subslot to something because you have an EX skill over here, which kind of shaft this whole kit already. The hidden system over here, it's not gonna be too good even on max, right? Yeah, look at this. It's only gonna buff you by 39% and 19 per shot. So this is not good at all. This is only if you dire need this unit, or like you really like this kit. Overall, this is like kind of bad. Moving on to the chest over here, I see some pretty good defense over here. Shot attack is on the lower tier, on the really low end. So let's see what kind of chest does have Federation. Maybe you can subslot this. So if you are looking at a chest to namely good unit, maybe you can subslot that into, is probably gonna be the Build Project F91. And then it's gonna be Narrative Gundam C pack again. So those are probably gonna be the 2 good choices. You will have 1 good word tag, just the Federation, because the other 2 have Gundam type and high firepower. So this one at max, alright, at max is gonna be giving out, let's see, at max is only gonna be giving out 30.5%. So that is equivalent to having their own double the parts, like subslot their own parts. So but let's see the word tag over here, part tray, excuse me. When attacking with beam shooting power increased by 30%, which is, hey, that's pretty good, right? And then while you have Federation, EX skill cooldown reduced by 20%. Hey, this is a pretty solid part over here. Like, I think right now with the glitch you can get up to 100 and it, like this EX skill cooldown reduction. So you can spam like EX skill one after another, but I don't know if they're ever gonna fix it where it's gonna cap out at 90%. But as of right now, you can run 5 of these 20% CD reduction, and then you can get yourself a pretty nice 100% cooldown. So but this is locked behind that second part, which you have to alternate it in order to gain that 1-100 property. But this is not something you should even rush, because you can just wait a month. A month will go by really fast in this game, because they're constantly updating new parts every week. So even though it's a pretty good option over here, is there's a lot more better part that does the same thing. So this is just a reason why I did not summon it. I know the part trade is good and whatnot, but you're gonna have to summon it, and it's not. I think the raid was what? Oh, we'll go over the raid in a bit. Let's see. Okay, let's see the stat over here. The melee stat is not looking too bad. I would say, like, I think after the change gear, we are probably looking at a low to like a high 80, like 89 to 88-ish melee attack, and then probably maybe closing into 9k maybe. But we do have an EX skill over here. Like, why? Like, what is this? What? This one is an arm mount beam gun, but like, why is it on C power? This guy just got an alternation, and they're gonna put it in like C power. Like, oh no, this is just bad already. Like, why? Does have Federation again, so this whole suit have Federation, so that's gonna be one drawbacks, because not a lot of parts actually have Federation. Like, I'm talking about good parts. Like, it's really limited right now. Namely, it's probably gonna be F91 again, and I think the RH782, the non-1-200 scale, probably no, the big one, the 1-to-100 one does actually have Federation. So you have probably good two choices, like the F91 arm, and then the the big alternation one. So you can do it that route, but then again, like the big scale 1-to-100 RH72 is locked behind Ace exclusive and Ace exclusive and Federation. So you kind of have to work something out, like whether you want to do like a shot build. Probably gonna be a shot build if you are running along like narrative Gundam, chest and head. So this one you can make it into like a shot build, but then again, there's a lot more better parts, because all you're benefiting is probably gonna be only 30.5%, which is not a lot. You can probably subslot its own arm just to get the same boost without just summoning for it. Just wait a month. I think it'll be worth it at the end of the day. Alright, looking at the leg over here, what are we doing over here? Pretty good defense, I would say, but it's just the offensive stat is a little bit too low. Even if you do the change gear, I think it wouldn't even make it up to like the top 20. So that's just right off the bat, like up to alternation is bad already. We do have an EX skill over here. This one is pretty good. This one is namely like better EX skill over here, coming at A plus Pierce and A power, but this one is one of the longer crew down EX skill here, coming at 60 second. So it's gonna raise your speed by 20%, and then also up your squad a melee up by 39%, which is this is pretty good. But then again, the vortex is like, whoa, it's all over the place with like Federation and for Forest. So let's take a look at what kind of parts does support this vortex over here. Alright, so after taking a quick look, probably the best leg part to slap this on is probably going to be the big scale RH782. Other than that, there isn't a lot of like good, I would say, good unit to really slap it on. So the leg is probably one of the parts you don't really want to pick up. Like, if you do have it, I don't think alternation is gonna really make a big deal, unless you really want that EX skill. Otherwise, if you ever do put the leg, like maybe a month later, you get it from like the the standard the 4-star pick tickets, or like the free capsule ticket we've been getting. I don't even think the leg is qualified to alternate. Even though it's a 1-to-100 scale part, it's just the vortex is way too limited as of right now. So moving on to the backpack over here, same situation as the leg. Just the offensive stat is way too low. Even if you do change gear that, it's not going to be too effective overall. Vortex over here, we have T attribute, buff EX go down up by 22%, and then with the tech attribute, buff EX go effect up by 30%. This is huge. I really like these two EX go, because if let's take a look into your perspective. We're like running multi-mission, right? We have the big exam right now, so the second portrait is gonna be really gonna come in really handy. So if you are using buffers like let me give you guys an example real quick. Just this one, right? Just take a look at that. So this one right here says increase. So when you activate this, you're gonna get erased by 39%. So if you have that 30% EX skill effect buffs from the backpack, you are looking at, I think, if this is how you calculate it, you're gonna be doing 0.0. What is it? Hold up. You're gonna be doing 39% times 1.30. Yeah, I think that's how you do it, and then it comes out. I'll probably have the calculation up on the screen. I'm not gonna do it on top of my head, right? So that will give you a pretty big buff on top of that, and you're also gonna extend your what is it, your EX skill like these effects by like 22%, which is huge. So the backpack is really good for like running multi missions and all that. If you guys have to like drag on for like a little bit longer, these kind of effects are really nice. If you guys are running it with like your crew members, like you guys can stack out a nice big fat custom EX skill like damage right after that. So the chest is good. I mean, not the chest, the backpack is good. But let's take a look at what kind of parts that supports it though. Let's see. Alright, after taking another quick look, we do have that build project F91 that does support this tag over here. It does help with the Federation. They're both linked together. So again, you can at max get like a 30.5% parameter, but you know, there's probably going to be a lot more better choices. Probably you can subslot itself, but I believe the build project F91 backpack is a EX skill, so I think this fits the whole theme over here. You have one, you can subslide it to get this trait over here, but keep in mind this is restricted to only T attribute, so it's not going to be too effective like running it for like any other multi mission. I think right now the big Zam is P attribute, so this one right here will be type disadvantage, which will not be good at all. Alright, so the last piece we're gonna quickly go over is gonna be the shield over here. Good defense over here, I would say. But if you would have changed gear, this is not gonna be placed into the top 20 for sure. This is probably gonna be one of the lower end tier stat over here. The portrait over here with Federation active, enemy power reduced by 30%. Okay, protect attribute, shooting crit up by 40%. So crit is probably going to be more helpful if you are taking on type disadvantage, but it's only 40%, so overall it's not going to be too helpful if you guys are like doing regular events, because most of them is mixed in between attribute. I don't everything you ever face off an enemy, except for if you're fighting like the multi-mission, just that one enemy, that might come in handy if you guys are fighting a type disadvantage. But most of the time people have multiple builds ready to take on those multi-mission boss already, so I don't think crits overall is not a pretty helpful trait at all. And then enemy shooting power reduced by 30%, so even you don't even have to alternate this part. You can just slap this on to like a if you want to do battle kit, you want to reduce enemy shooting power, you can just get that like a level 1 at 17%, which is already good. So overall I don't think the shield is up for alternation at all, just because of these two word tags over here. But let's quickly take a look at what kind of shield does have these two trait or one of the traits. Alright, so the shield that you can probably slap this on is probably gonna be the Narrative Gundam C pack again. So those two unit F91 and Narrative Gundam C pack are probably gonna be this guy's best friend, just for subsliding it to get that 1/200 scale above. But other than that, there isn't a lot of good parts to really sub it on. So overall, would I recommend you guys summoning it? The answer is gonna be a big no. You guys can probably pick these parts up like a month later. There's no need to rush these kind of alternation, because there's gonna be a lot of better parts like replacing it like maybe next week even. So we can quickly hop over to the capsule page and let's talk about the banner over here. The Raven Gundam, I'm not really gonna talk about it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. The EX skill are not even that good, if I recall from just watching the official GBGW, like what is it, they're showing out the EX skill. Like the sensor bit over here is not even, it's not even too good. Like D-power, like why? Don't even bother with this. And then the last EX skill over here is the sniping. If you look at the sniping over here, it's pretty good. If you're looking at both pierce and power at B minus, which is it's okay. I think minus kind of kills up damage just a little bit, to be honest. So overall, if you guys do really like the Uraven Gundam, I suggest you guys just wait a month, just to pick it up some other way, because as of right now, it's only good for cosmetic. Because I think a lot of people do like this unit overall, but is it even worth something? Probably not gonna be good, the answer over here. But if we do take a look at the rate over here, it's a 3% on the normal drop rate, and then a 10%. I think 10%. Oh, I think originally it's only 5%. So right now it's double the chance. I think a lot of people, just because of that, want to summon in it, and that is a big mistake. That is how they lure you into summoning. And then I'm pretty sure they're gonna drop some banger on Thursday. So just watch out for that and don't summon right now. They do have these awards over here, which if you do a few multi-summons, like if you do 2 multi-summons, you're gonna get that word tag Awakening Circuit, which is pretty enticing, I must say, but don't do it. Don't look at these awards, because you can get it some other alternative. I don't think they are worth the bucks you guys are putting into it. So that's my opinion. You know, up next, probably on tomorrow's video, I'll talk about the Barbados Lupus and then the Gundam Vidar. So with that being said, hopefully this video is useful to you guys, and then I will catch you guys on the next one.